Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're watching us this morning. We got a slow start. We've had some technical difficulties, but we're right on time as far as you're concerned. But I want to thank Jeff for all his hard work back there behind this camera. Our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. Today's high is going to be 81, getting about to hit those 80s and all. And supposedly there's no rain forecast. I know a lot of we're going to look at the river region in a second and just see how much rain we've had. But low will be 63, and the water temperature is still at 75. So good situation there. Let's take a look now at the river readings, and they're high. We talked about all the rain is at 15.5. And folks, that is high. The Apalachicola at Bluntstown. The Choctawhatchee at Caryville, it is at 12.3, and that is high. And they're going to stay high for the next 3 or 4 days. So it's just a really tough situation as far as you getting some freshwater fishing in along the river systems. Now take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Good news there because it has some really strong tides. Today is Tuesday, April the 21st. We have a low tide. Well, the high tide is right at noon. It's coming in all morning. It's going to be low at 9:53 tonight. So we have a great incoming tide in the morning and outgoing in the afternoon. A really good, perfect situation for bay fishing. Now remember, a lot of fresh water. If your bay fishing area is close to some freshwater runoff, you're gonna get it. So it's going to affect those fishing areas when the creeks coming out into the bay systems. Also, going to be more freshwater there than normal. Our marine forecast will be northeast at 5 to 10. That's always refreshing this time of the year to get some cooler, drier air coming in because we've had that southeast wind. I think I'd counted like 21 straight days we'd had that southeast wind coming in. So that takes care of our weather. We'll take a break and be right back. Okay, welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning. Let's get started with some pictures now. Some nice ones sent in by the viewers. Start off with Joy Jernigan out at the Beach Pier. Joy from Bonifay up there. He was fishing with Mark Gibson, and they really had a good. They caught some nice bull reds off the Beach Pier last couple of days, and a good job there. And Joy Jernigan loves fishing. I see him all over the place. He's won some of our contests here, and just an outgoing good guy. Really appreciate his viewership. Good job on that. That's a nice redfish there. Okay. Now, I hope I hope you can see this good enough, clear enough. If y'all are wake on up now, you can see this flounder embedded. This is really nice here. This is Barry Payton sent this. It went floundering the other night, but this is how the flounder look for you folks who don't get to go out at night and go flounder gigging. They're the same. I mean, they bury themselves underwater, under the sand, and they just sort of wiggle a little bit, and that sand settles in on them. And that's if you go, you just love to see that sight when you're out on a floundering night and poling along, and the light comes across that outline. So that's what you look for. And Bear Pay got a nice mess the other night. One of our FWC officers, this sent to us by Hal Webb. Hal, now this is an oak snake. This is a friendly snake. Now you don't have to kill every snake that you see. We used to be bad about that when you were a kid and all, but now you're old enough to know that snakes, there's purposeful snakes around. If there's one in my backyard and my dog's running around, the kids running around, the big old rattlesnake, I'm going to take it out. But other snakes, you used to let them go. And this is an oak snake, and nice, a good snake, has good purpose. How well? But I was in the driveway. All right, this mess of fish here. This was from Saturday night. Joe Sims, he's got a mess. He's got sheephead in here. He's got flounder. And he's got some mullet. And that is a good mess of fish. Good job, Joe Sims. And our buddy Tim Kahneman. The Spanish are still out there, folks. A really good Spanish mackerel fishing. So if you get a chance, go out there and still good fishing for Spanish. All right, first place right now in the Ling Ding tournament down at Mexico Beach Marina. Our good buddy, and in fact, the thing about this, this is a good situation. The fisherman's from Georgia, but the boat, of course, you can see what boat is on. This is the Mexico Beach Ling Ding tournament now. Frank Hester is in first place, fishing with Captain Mitch Coleman on the Florida Days Adventures, and this is a 58-pounder, and right now it's in first place. So good job there, Captain Mitch Coleman, who gives our Mexico Beach report every Friday. Make sure you know your license-free saltwater days and freshwater now. freshwater the second Saturday and Sunday in June. So that's around the corner there. And then saltwater is the first Saturday and Sunday in June. So that's don't forget to go and put that in there, the first and second. So you actually take advantage of both of them. And this is a good picture here. This is they call this a freshwater cobia, okay? But really and truly, this is Ryan Huggins with Branson here, and this is a Deer Point Lake cobia is what it's called. But actually, it's a carp. But they call it this. Now, you know that the kid had a great time pulling on this carp. You catch them, release them. They're grass-eating carps. They put in there when they were fingerlings, and you see how they turn out. So, good job there. And our last picture, my good buddy Bill Allen, he sneaked off the other day and didn't call me up. And the thing, all he did, I just got a message, I think Saturday morning in between the rain, that look what I got. Good job, Bill. I know you forgot my phone number, so I'm going to text it back to you. But caught that on top water. I know that was fun catching that on top water. Good job, Bill Allen. Okay, that takes care of our pictures. I want to mention also, coming up tomorrow is the official Earth Day celebration. Now, it's always a cool day. I know a lot of folks just started it on Saturday because everybody's working Monday through Friday. Most of us are. And so some folks do stuff over the weekend. And Earth Day, I've been part of that since day one. It started way back in the 70s. I'm a strong advocate of Earth Day. And if, you know, look at we all as outdoorsmen, we should be an advocate of Earth Day. Some people say, oh, that's some radical stuff and all. It's not, folks. It's a celebration of this earth that God has given us, and it's something that we as outdoorsmen need to take care of and pass it on. And I think about our legacy of years, many, many years ago. The Native Americans took care of the land and all. Even going back in going forward in American history, look at President Teddy Roosevelt, how he set up a national park system, and what a legacy he had. All the national parks is a result of him starting it, and a lot of other guys, men and women with a vision to do that. And he goes on down to our state park system, right here in Florida state park system. Look at you look right here in Panama City. And when World War II ended, St. Andrew Bay, right there at the pass, there was a big old gun there. It was protecting our harbor in the pass there. The government had owned that land. And there were some people who said, hey, let's save that land for everybody to use. So that was the birth of St. Andrew State Park. If someone would not had that vision to see that, there'd be a lot of stacked up condos, and nobody would be able to use it now. Right now, you and I can go out there anytime we want to. So that's cool, and that's the kind of thing, an appreciation, and preservation, and passing down a legacy. Now, the things you can do, you can plant trees, you can clean up. A lot of folks clean the beaches and all, and I get aggravated. We shouldn't even have to clean the beaches. We shouldn't have to do that. But if folks are taking on, they'll clean national forest, campsites and all. So all kinds of things we can do. So I've always appreciated Earth Day, and I've always tried to get our kids, our students and all, to appreciate it. What we're doing at Moser today and tomorrow, we're like a little 2-3 day unit. We're going to be planting trees along our campus. We've done that before. And then we have some of them also that do things on all kind of organizations doing it. So to do something for Earth Day and just pass it on, and we only have one Earth and we need to take care of it. So I feel strong about the Earth Day. Okay. As we speak, speaking of Earth now, and enjoying the Earth and all, as we speak, Whitney and Walter, little Whitney's in a turkey blind right now down around Lake Butler. I hope to get a phone call anytime that she's got to see one and all, but the phone hasn't rung yet. But I hope she'll get this her last time to get a shot at Osceola. Now the season ends this weekend, and this is, in fact, I was looking on my chart that Ken Paramore brought me. I guess this is the last time I use this. The last date on here, April 26th, is wrapping up spring gobbler season. I guess I can toss this away, but that's a good chart to have, and Ken, we really got to use that. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's go and take our break, and I will be right back. Welcome back. I know we talked about some fishing tips yesterday, talking about pompano fishing. I can't remember if I showed this or not. I want to show it again. On this pompano fishing, you just buy these. We used to make our own rigs and all, okay? But you can buy these little 2-hook rigs, and don't use the 3-hook rigs. When they first came out, I used to use the 3-hook rigs. You're talking about getting aggravated and tangled up. Those things, we just got tickled at them. So we have banned our 3-hook rigs. So, but a 2-hook rig, this one has nothing on it but a little bead. But what I was going to show you, over the past 3 or 4 years, they've come up with some colorful little floats, little corks, and I use these some too. That little cork, what that little float does is hold the hook up off the ground a little bit. So that's cool there too. So on the hook, and here's the 3 different kinds right here. So you can go to your favorite tackle store, hopefully Blue Water Outrigger, since they sponsor our show, and they got a whole stack of them there. Okay, so that's our tip of the day. Now, talking about one of the things we try to pass on to our young people, all the careers and vocations you can do in the outdoors, and of course to do that you have to have a passion and an interest of the outdoors, and I think that's probably part of someone's DNA, and also the environment, growing up and having parents and friends and people exposing you to the outdoors. And we've been fortunate in our program here at Mosley. We've had kids scatter working for all various organizations. Rachel Hallman, well, she's married now, but Rachel Hallman came through now. She works for U.S. Fish and Wildlife. She's been on the show before. We've got several people working with for the Fish and Game Commission here in Florida. We have some foresters working, and all these young people have just, everyone I talk to, I've talked to them right now, they would say, I love my job, and it's great to have a job that you love. So one of the things I did, I tried to explain to them that universities, and you don't have to go to get a 4-year degree, but a lot of universities offer some really strong programs in wildlife, in the various aspects of wildlife. I know Auburn University does, Southern Miss and Mississippi State has strong programs, University of Georgia, and Tennessee has a strong program because those guys came down, I met them, they do some sturgeon research. And University of Florida has a really good program. So I have this little 5-minute interview with the head honcho down there in the Wildlife Ecology program. So and I showed them the students and all, and just sort of give you an overview, and maybe some of you young people out there, other schools and all, may find some interest in this. So let's go ahead and roll this video, Jeff. All right, folks, I'm down here in Gainesville. I'm actually at a conference down here in the lunch hour. So I sneaked over here on campus. I love coming down here. I spent 4 years and had a wonderful time getting an education down here. And I was rode through here to lunch, and I saw this little sign. I just wanted to give you folks a chance I saw this sign right here. The University of Florida said Noonan Ziegler Hall, and then I noticed it said Forest Resource and Conservation and Wildlife Ecology and Conservation. So I don't know a soul in here, but I'm going to walk up in here and try to introduce myself. Maybe I'll find a professor or a teacher up here, and find out why a student or how it would help Panhandle Outdoors to know more about this. So we're going to go in here and see if we can meet anybody. Beautiful place. There's a beautiful campus. I'm at the office of Dr. John Hayes, and he's John, I'm going to just let you introduce yourself and tell the folks what you do, and it's fascinating talking to you, so you go ahead and tell us your background.
Sure. So I'm John Hayes. I'm the chair of the Department of Wildlife Ecology and Conservation here at the University of Florida. I've been here for about 3 years, have a background, started out in the Pacific Northwest at Oregon State University, did a bachelor's degree there, went on for a PhD at Cornell University, spent a little time at the University of Tennessee, and then back to Oregon State, where I spent 14 years studying issues related to wildlife and their interactions with forest systems, and I've been here for about 3 years as chair.
Well, how do you like it down here in Gainesville?
Oh, I love it. This is a wonderful place to be.
Well, now we're here I'm going to show this to my students, also my viewing audience, and tell what kind of students come down here and take these kind of classes.
We've got a wide variety of different types of students here in our department. In terms of undergraduates, we've got students that grew up hunting and fishing and want to try to find a career path that incorporates those interests. We also have a number of students who just have a passion for nature, want to make a difference, and want to play a role in the conservation and the management of our natural resources.
Okay, as a young person, what are some of the things in high school they need to sort of be interested in?
Yeah, you know, it's a competitive program. We have, although we do have students coming from a number of different paths, some students that maybe aren't the best students in high school, that take a path through community colleges. We have a number of transfers from community colleges. Students should come to us with a strong background in biological sciences, good writing skills, communication skills, but mostly just a real passion for the subject and a desire to learn. And you know, from my perspective, that's the most important thing. It's not what they come in with, but it's what they leave with that we're interested in, so that's what we're trying to work with.
Okay, when they finish here, real quick, just tell us where some of the places they go and some of the things they can do.
Boy, we've got students doing a variety of different things. We have a great research station out here, the Ordway Swisher. We have some students working out there. We've got students working on some of the properties with the Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. And we've had students that have been involved in some of our international programs. We teach a course in Namibia. We take a group of wildlife students there to learn about wildlife there. We've had one of our undergraduates that spent a summer working in Brazil on some projects there. So there's lots of opportunities. It's really limited more by the students' vision and where they want to go than what the plate of opportunities are here. So.
Okay, I'm gonna narrow it down now. Of course, I'm born and raised in the Panhandle. I think well, that's heaven on earth to me, and I've been there. My family's been there about 5 generations, and you visited out there before, right?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
You've been all over America, so I'm gonna put you on the spot. How do you like the Florida Panhandle?
Oh, Florida Panhandle's wonderful. It's a great place to be.
What's our biggest obstacles in the future when it comes to wildlife ecology and all?
What are the biggest obstacles?
Yeah, what are we facing?
You know, we're in a period of great change in our country. You know, we have climate issues facing us. We're faced here in Florida with an onslaught of invasive species. We have a growing population, and while that brings a number of benefits, it also puts increasing pressures on our natural areas. So really, we're at a time now where the types of impacts that our students can make are greater than they've ever been before. And having a highly trained and knowledgeable set of professionals out there to do that work is really, really important.
Oh, good. And in closing, just what are some, in your leisure time, when you get a little bit of time off, I know you're the chair of the whole department, so I know your hands are, I know you have a big job. What are some of the things you enjoy doing?
My passions right now are kayaking and photography.
Okay.
And I like to link those two together.
Yeah.
And I love going out kayaking and taking pictures of birds.
Well, you'd fit right in up there because we have some good kayakers and we have some great outdoor photographers. So when you back up that way, stop by and see us.
I'll do that.
Dr. John Hayes, University of Florida. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you got some information from it and pass that on to some folks and all. And it can, anytime you can further your education in a field that you love and have a passion for, the better off you're going to be. Let's take a look at our fish and game forecast today, brought to us by Mark Coward of Edgewater Beach Realty. Mark's number is 832-6000. And our 2 times today, we're looking at 3:02 this morning to 5:02. We just passed that, but this afternoon, 3:30 to 5:30, with a little bit of a northeast wind. Be a good afternoon to get out, so that would be great. A couple of other announcements. Now, on tomorrow's show, I have Bubba Hart from Harsh Marine coming on. They're one of our new sponsors, and we really appreciate Bubba coming on. We've been trying to get him to come on for quite some time. He'll be here tomorrow, so good guy. You'll enjoy meeting him and all. And speaking of things going on this weekend, over at Dick's Sporting Goods at North Pier Park, they're having a boat show and a little presentation there, and it's going. Legendary Marine's going to have some of their stuff there. And they've asked me to come speak on Panhandle Outdoors in general, and I'll have some, and want me to speak a little bit on full box and just different things, and I'll be there around noontime. I'll give you time later. Also, the fishing seminar, Mark and Michael Coward will give a fishing seminar on inshore fishing, and it's going to be somewhere from 11 to 1, but I'll get your times to you later on this week, so it'll be a good idea. I'm going to have people always ask me about caps and shirts and all kind of books and all. I'll have it all there on the table. We don't really sell our shirts in retail because the books are available at our sponsors' place. So just be aware of that, and I'll be there giving away Panhandle Outdoor decals. So we'll talk as the week goes on. Our tip of the day, I want to make sure we'll talk about hook removal a lot. A lot of times we just have something. This is a latest pliers and all. We just reach in the mouth and reach in there and pull the hook out. And just in general now, when you're releasing a fish, the rule of thumb, you want to keep that fish out of the water only as long as you can hold your breath. People always asking, should I hold them, keep them out a minute or two? However long you can hold your breath is about how long that fish should be out of the water. Sort of makes sense because they're going to breathe in the water, so they're out of water too. As always, but the biologist said that. That's the rule of thumb there. And of course, you want to handle them gently and all. And if they're bouncing, it's bad for them to bounce on the boat. But I know we can't help it a lot of times, especially if you want to big on something like a bonita or something, and that thing's flopping around, well, they're going to reach down and grab it. So just be aware of that. try to calm them down but be safe first. Don't be reaching in there and all. But when you do remove that hook, a lot of times they're deep hook, and these long extractors here are ideal. And you can reach down, and you can really go a long way down into the mouth, and they're really ideal. And I know I keep these in a tackle box, and I know it's hard to keep one this big attached to you and all, but sometimes for a deep hook, this is a tip of the day. If you have it on some of these long forceps and all, these are actual medical forceps, but they work great. I know Scott Lindsay and I've talked about him, and he loves these things too. So that's your tip of the day. Have a set of these, especially for a large fish and all that's down deep and all hooked down deep and it's trying to swallow it. So that's our tip of the day. Now I was looking on the bass. We don't have a lot of time left. Bass state records. I got fascinated the other day. I was looking at all the different state records for different sizes for the largemouth bass throughout America, and it was alphabetical. I started looking at them and all, and I got tickled sort of thinking about the state and the big bass at that state. A lot of times we catch those at Deer Point Lake, and yet other states are just huge fish. So I'm gonna start. I'm not gonna have time to finish, but I want to start. Of course, guess what state does not have a freshwater bass record? It would be Alaska, of course. Alaska has no bass up there, so they have no record. Then Alabama's record is 16 pounds, 8 ounces, and that was called 1987. A lot of these records are recent, and I'm not going to read you all of them, but just some of them here in the South. That was called at Mountain View Lake, and a lot of y'all know where that is. Arizona and Arkansas both had 16-pounders. I was surprised at Arizona's. California, of course, theirs is 21 pounds, 12 ounces, second biggest ever caught in American history. It comes out of California, and actually that was called 1991, and it was recognized by the California Fish and Wildlife. I'm not going to have time to finish, but I want to finish this up one day and show you some really some neat stuff and all. Of course, Florida. I have some pictures also, but that's the Florida record. Of course, was set here a long time ago. The longest record, of course, is Georgia, and that's the American record. Said 1930s, and it's a great story behind that. But I got to wrap things up and all. Don't forget tomorrow I have Bubba Hart, the Harsh Marine, and on next show after that I have a young lady come in and really enjoys the outdoors, just like most of y'all do. So as always, thank y'all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. You do something good for someone else today, and have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.